So thank you, Kathryn, for joining me today. You had an exciting thing happen, and we thought that it might be a nice opportunity to chat about it a little bit. Could you start just by introducing yourself for our audience?
My name is Kathryn Nuñez, and I live in San Diego. And I've been a member of Hera for 7 years, since 2016. And I help B2B service-based entrepreneurs with sales and marketing strategies. I wanted to leave corporate America first and foremost, and my goal was to leave in June of 2020. And so we all know what happened in March of 2020. I was let go, and so was my entire team. So my goal before I left corporate was to replace my six-figure income with my side hustle, which was consulting in sales and marketing. And so COVID hit. It was a couple rough years. And then this past year, I exceeded six figures with my business. And it's one of those things, Melissa, that is so interesting that I don't even want to cry. Maybe I'm going to cry. Like, we get so excited, right? And wait, we might have to edit this out. But anyway, like, we don't take the time to celebrate those things that are so important. So it's just like when we say we're going to launch a business, right? And then you're like, okay, look, my website's live. And you're just like looking at it like, okay, there's like something is special that's supposed to happen, right? Like the world, I've worked all these hours on my website, and everybody should hit my website, or my deal is launched, my course is done, like all these things are done. And it took so many hours to get there, but nothing really happens. There's like no parade. There's no pomp and circumstance. There's nothing that happens. So when I had the goal of reaching my maybe not my first time hitting six figures, but with this business, like, it came and went without me even knowing. Like, I just opened up my accounting software to send another invoice, and I was like, holy shit, I'm over six figures, like going on to the next one. And so if I could just give somebody a little bit of if you have a goal and you're going to hit it, then you need to make pomp and circumstance around that, because nobody else is going to do it for you, right? It's like, already write in your journal, when I hit six figures, I am going to do a bubble bath. Every time somebody pays an invoice for me, I do a money dance. So I get up literally out of the chair and I do a money dance. So maybe when you do something like that, it's this much bigger thing, right? It's this celebration of, oh my gosh, I'm here. And with every little piece of success, I always say with every little win, it's a stepping stone on the road to a bigger success. But if you don't acknowledge it, then you don't have the that attagirl that you deserve, that helps fuel you to the next level of success.
I love this, because if we have these big goals and we're getting excited and we're just going, we know what tends to happen, right? That's the part where we start running out of steam and running out of gas and starting to feel like we're hitting walls, and we're like, when are we going to get there? But those smaller stepping stones, or even just taking the time to celebrate that big moment. Now I'm getting emotional. Thank you. To even celebrate that big moment is really, really important. I love that you have a money dance.
I do. And it goes like this. I'm going to show you. It's money dance, money dance, money dance. It's so, but I literally do that, and I sing that little song every time money comes in. So it's kind of funny. I'm the weirdo in the street when I find a pig, and I do the same dance.
That's awesome. No, and I've heard other people say, like, okay, and when I hit this goal, then I'm going to, I knew someone who every time they got a new client, or every time they met that goal, or every time the new quarter hit and they looked at all the numbers, they would take themselves out to dinner, or they would buy themselves the new bag that they wanted, or like they found ways to reward themselves. And I love the idea of just a bubble bath, right? Like giving yourself the R&R, to really feel and connect your body into that win as well. I mean, watching you dance and do your money dance, I'm like, her body is experiencing the joy and going, this is why I've put in all this effort. This is why I've been hustling, because we don't set goals really believing it's going to be that easy, but we do hope, right? We hope that it's just going to happen just because we set the goal, but there's a step-by-step process here. There's a lot of hustle involved. And can you describe a little bit that feeling of what it was like to step away from the corporate, or maybe even to say no to other projects, to really start to carve space for this larger goal that you set with your side business?
So what I had to say no to was a lot of, okay, there's a lot of things I said no to this year. Was being asked to be on boards and volunteering for other things that might be good for other people, but they weren't necessarily getting me to my goal, because it was taking time away from my focus. Because I have a passion for supporting women of color, and I have a passion for supporting female entrepreneurs. It's just there. I do a give and give and give and give. However, you have to look at, I can't give if I don't have the energy in the tank or the money in the bank. Well, that should be it. That's like a rhyme. If there's no energy in the tank or money in the bank, I can't continue to give. So I had to say no to that, which was hard, because that meant that I wasn't supporting the causes that I wanted to support as much. It was asking better questions. How can I still give, but limiting that to where I am today? Because maybe I had some credit in the bank from all the giving I've done in the past. So yes, I had to say no to that. I also, at Hera Hub, we have some wonderful gurus that help with numbers. And I really looked at my number of surviving and thriving, right? Nikki gives us those. What's your number? And so you don't have to take everything away. One of the mindsets that I had to become an entrepreneur was, well, I don't need those trips to Paris, and I don't need the designer clothes, and I don't need the gym membership. It was really this scarcity mentality of, what can I take away and still survive to be an entrepreneur? Well, that doesn't necessarily have to happen. Like, what can I charge for my worth to make the money that I need to live the lifestyle that I've already become accustomed to, and the lifestyle that I deserve?
I know you've talked before about scarcity mindset. I mean, we've had a few chats about how pivotal that mindset is to you framing and shaping the choices you're making when you make those choices. And those might be choices to spend, those might be choices to not spend, and they might be choices to charge, right? Because that's the moment where it is common that we I don't know that we truly undervalue. I think we do believe in our value, but we undercharge for that value. We don't charge as much as we could. And I've even heard some people say, if we don't charge enough, they don't respect our choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to believe in us also, and they're already ready to pay. They're waiting for us to say, this is the amount. And that can be scary sometimes, or it can be very simple. once we really feel our value and understand that we have something to offer, and that and if that there is one person perhaps that doesn't see it, there's going to be people that will see it, and we know what we're bringing into the world. You mentioned your Hera Hub community, and you mentioned the gurus, and chatting specifically with Nikki and her sales support. As an entrepreneur, could you have hit this goal alone?
No. And also, I've heard people say before that they have a coach for everything, like a personal workout coach or a business coach. Along this journey, I've invested more in my education than I have in previous years. And so what starts to happen is that price tag or that value that you add to your customer is accumulation of all the lessons and all the coaching and all the learning that you've taken through the years. So we can't forget to include that. And we also can't forget to invest in ourselves, because investing in ourselves with the right people means you're just becoming more valuable to the people you serve or to the businesses that you serve. And that's something that we also can't forget when we're talking about it's not our self-worth, it's about our intelligence, and it's about our sharpened skills. But, repetition is the mother of all learning. Like, how many times did you watch that course? Not just buying stuff because you got sucked into something, but really, I looked at my skills gap. When you see a gap, you can either hire it out, or you can refer it out, or you can learn that skill yourself. And so I took this past year to really sharpen some of my brand strategy skills and some copywriting skills, because those are things that I find passion in, but I needed to bring my skill level up to be able to better serve my customers, and it's paying off.
Yeah, it's a good point that we can find those areas that we also want to improve, and we can focus on those. I mean, entrepreneurship doesn't mean just doing it all by ourselves. I think there's part of me that still believes I have to. And it's crazy because I'm the director of Hera Hub La Jolla here, and I'm constantly leaning in on the community. And so there's part of me, I think, and it was in how I was raised, or how we tend to be raised, that we really got to do it all and learn it all. And if we don't know, we just haven't learned yet, we're going to figure it all out. But I don't have time to learn it all. And I would rather do the parts that do bring me more joy and find the areas I want to continue learning in and focus on those as well. So that's a great point.
I'm always looking for someone inside Hera Hub to collaborate with. Like, it's this really interesting, I look at people and I'm like, okay, what can I do with her? Like, how can we work together? So it's really this, like, the community at Hera Hub to me is an extension of what I could do in the future, which isn't, it's whoever new is coming in. It's like, you want to meet up, like, okay, how can I help them and how can they help me? It's this positioning thing, right? Where the Hera Hub becomes the first place I look internally. And if somebody can't help me there, then I'll go external and look for somebody else that could support me or my clients.
I want to know what your next big goal looks like. Or do you have it yet? Do you know what your next big goal looks like?
So financially, I'm not everybody's as financially driven as I am, because I'm a single mom and I've only been a single mom and it's just me and the kids, right? There's no child support. There's nothing flowing my way. So this past year, I did hit $20,000 months. And in corporate, I had a couple of $50,000 months because I was a high six-figure earner in corporate. So this year, my goal is $100,000 months, which is what they say, that big, hairy, audacious goal. But if you can actually see it, you can see how it can happen, and you could see how the puzzle, it's just this tangible feeling of, well, that's really not that hard. It's not even like the sun and the moon and the stars and the wind have to be lined up. It's really what I did last year is going to keep coming forward. And what I'm doing today is going to keep coming forward. And those months are going to hit. And it starts with the mantra of, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't think it can happen, then it can't happen, right? You have to believe it. You have to see it. The universe doesn't know reality versus not reality. Like you write your own future. And that's the future that I'm writing for myself this year is $100,000 months.
That's super exciting. And yeah, it's a great point to point out that some people are not specifically financially driven as well. But I think that's why I wanted to have this conversation is also being around a lot of female entrepreneurs. We don't talk about numbers all the time, right? We talk about joy and ease of lifestyle and what we're able to provide. And we get excited by other KPIs possibly as well. But money is really important. And like you said, it's part of what you've always done and needed to survive and then to thrive. The big, hairy, audacious goal. If we don't think it, we can't imagine it. And if we can't imagine it, then we'll never know what it's going to take to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So as soon as you put that into your mind, you can go, well, what would it take to get there? And is that something I'm doing now, or am I really off course? Because then that's when you can ask yourself those big questions. About a year ago, I was looking at like bird's eye view, right? My boss, Felina Hansen, loves to take you way up into the sky and look down on everything. And nothing looks hard. It's just, you're just looking at it. She's like, what do you see? I saw a lot of things. And it was actually really interesting because that day we were doing a strategic planning workshop for a few members who were planning their entire next year. So as we went through each of the exercises, in the back of my mind, I'm looking at the vision I just had and wondering, oh, this is how I could make that work. These are the steps and tools that it would take. And if you had started first and say, here are all the steps and tools it's going to take to achieve anything, I might go, well, what do I really want? But I started with a dream. I started with an idea and a vision. And then I went, oh, well, yeah, I can apply these steps to that dream. And then it doesn't become big and hairy and audacious, right? It becomes totally stinking possible. And that is really exciting. While you were describing it, I had this vision of your money dance, but there were bubbles everywhere because of this bubble bath idea as well. And I was like, so Kathryn's going to have one of those bubble bath dance party events. and I'll be there. I'll help DJ. Then we can all dance with her and celebrate if that's something that you decide to share in that moment or not. But I do appreciate you being willing to share and talk some numbers and share a little bit, especially your vulnerability. Appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to say around this topic?
Yes, I want to tell people to not think small. Because what happens when you think small is the universe shrinks to your container that you think in. So if you think you have to do all the things because everybody else is doing the whole social media, we tend to do social media marketing tactics because those are things that are in our control, and we do them and they actually are busy work. Like, are you really moving the needle for someone else or for yourself by just doing those busy tactics? So don't think small, think large, because the universe is going to bring you opportunities. And if you don't reach out and grab them, it's going to go to the next room and somebody else is going to grab it. And that was your opportunity. So you don't have to act on everything, but you can take things in and look at them and say, how can this work? How can this work for me? Can it work? Will it help me reach my goal, whatever your goal is? And then also just surround yourself with beautiful people. And for me, that's my Hera Hub community and past Hera Hub people that are still in my life every day. And make sure you have your mantras, because girlfriend, my success is inevitable and I'm open to how it happens. And that's it. So have your mantra and hold on to it and own it. Like, own it, and you fall, you cry, you get up, you know what else? I hit those numbers this year with taking every Friday off at noon. Every Friday off at noon. It is blocked off. Nobody bothers with me. I go take a nap, I take a walk, I do whatever I want. So the universe shrinks or expands to the container that you put it in.
Kathryn, thank you so much. I've heard you say a few of these things before, and I'm really excited today that I got to hear them again. Can't wait to share this with everybody, and we'll see you at Hair Hub, and we'll see everybody else next time or soon, or also at Hair Hub.
Bye, everyone. So happy to talk to you.
Bye.